Nobody, and I mean nobody, was ready for what Caitlyn Clark just unleashed. Not Nike, not Adidas, not Under Armour, not even the WNBA itself. Because what started as a simple product announcement, a celebration of her brand new signature shoe, has now ignited a $500 million firestorm that's threatening to flip the entire sportswear industry upside down. We're talking emergency calls, CEO-level damage control, and one of the biggest brand loyalty meltdowns in modern history. It all started with one reveal, one sneaker, one moment on stage that should have been about style and success. But instead, it opened the floodgates. Within minutes of Caitlyn's live shoe debut, fans noticed something off. A bold logo stitched into the tongue of the shoe that didn't match what Nike usually allows. Whispers turned into tweets. Us tweets turned into trending hashtags. And by the end of the day, the term Nike betrayal had over 60 million views across TikTok and Twitter. What exactly did Caitlyn Clark do that caused Nike to hit the panic button? Why are angry fans flooding Nike's social media with calls for a boycott? And how is this one sneaker launch spiraling into a $500 million brand war that could permanently damage Nike's iron grip on the athlete endorsement world? Because the shoe? It wasn't just a shoe, it was a message. And now, insiders are leaking what really happened behind the scenes. From Caitlyn's last-minute design demands, to the boardroom meltdown that followed, and the shocking move that left Adidas execs smiling behind closed doors. This isn't just drama. This is sneaker warfare. And if you thought this was just about a pair of kicks, you're in for a rude awakening. Stick around, because what Caitlyn just did might have just rewritten the rules of sports branding forever. To truly understand why Nike is spiraling into full-blown panic mode right now, you need to know just how high the stakes have been building behind the scenes. Because this isn't just about shoes. This is about power, control, and who really owns the future of women's sports. Let's rewind. Way before the viral clip of Caitlyn Clark holding that now infamous sneaker with a logo that's left millions scratching their heads. Back when Caitlyn was still racking up triple-doubles and torching NCAA records, every brand executive was already watching with laser focus. She wasn't just another college phenom. She was the unicorn. A generational talent who could sell out arenas, move merchandise, and build an empire before she even hit the WNBA draft stage. And Nike? Oh, they knew. They'd been burned before. They'd lost grip on Sabrina Ionescu's hype, fumbled multiple NIL-era endorsements, and watched competitors like Puma and New Balance quietly poach rising stars in niche sports. They weren't going to let another icon slip away, especially not someone with Caitlyn's cross-market appeal. So what did they do? They came in fast, and they came in big. Sources say Nike was already pitching Caitlyn multi-year deals in her junior season, trying to lock her in early with aggressive offers. Not just cash, but full creative control. A signature shoe, a dedicated design team, and even input on brand campaigns, something no female athlete had ever received at her level before turning pro. It was bold, it was risky. But Caitlyn, always known for her killer instincts on the court, saw something else. She saw leverage. You see, Caitlyn didn't want to be just a poster child. She wanted to be a brand architect. Insiders say she pushed Nike in directions they weren't used to, not just in aesthetics, but in philosophy. She wanted her shoe to tell a story that Nike wasn't used to telling, one that included faith, Midwest grit, unapologetic femininity, and Gen Z rebellion all at once. Some Nike board members were skeptical, but the marketing team? They saw dollar signs. And so, the deal was inked. A 7-year partnership, reportedly worth over $30 million, with back-end bonuses tied to shoe sales and global performance campaigns. It was, by all accounts, the biggest shoe deal ever offered to a female basketball rookie. And that's where things get complicated. Because while Nike's PR machine was busy crafting sleek press releases about empowering women and trailblazing designs, something else was happening internally. Whispers began spreading that Caitlyn wasn't playing by the rules, that she was using her design meetings to push for non-approved messaging, that she was requesting unauthorized third-party collaborations, and worst of all, bypassing the corporate playbook entirely. Now, normally a rookie wouldn't be able to make a dent in Nike's layered approval system, but Caitlyn isn't normal. She had fan power, she had media heat, and thanks to her performance at the NCAA tournament and her unprecedented WNBA debut, she had something Nike couldn't afford to lose: momentum. So when it came time to finalize the design of her debut sneaker, Caitlyn allegedly made a decision that would send shockwaves through the brand's leadership. She requested a specific symbol, one she claimed represented personal values, something she quietly wore on a bracelet since high school, a nod to family, legacy, and strength. But Nike's legal team flagged it instantly. Why? Because that symbol? It was strikingly similar to a copyrighted design from a boutique black-owned sneaker brand that Nike had previously passed on collaborating with. A brand that had publicly called Nike out in the past for corporate stealing and erasing original voices. Caitlyn, allegedly unaware of the tension, insisted the symbol stay. She offered to meet with the boutique brand and include them in the rollout. She even offered to divert part of her royalties to support them. But Nike? They were livid, because the inclusion of that symbol, even with good intentions, would be seen as a silent admission of guilt, of having stolen, of needing Caitlyn Clark to clean up their mess. And yet, the design went through. Some say Caitlyn snuck it in. Others say her PR team pushed Nike's marketing department to overrule legal at the last minute. Whatever the case, when the shoe dropped, that symbol was front and center. Now the brand war had officially begun, and Caitlyn Clark had accidentally, or intentionally, just reopened an old Nike wound that's now bleeding out across social media, sports media, and Wall Street. Because the boutique brand, they saw the launch, they saw the symbol. And within hours, they posted a scathing Instagram reel accusing Nike of stealing their design again. But this time, doing it through a white, her superstar female athlete. And the internet lost its mind. The hashtag Caitlyn didn't know trended alongside hashtag Nike did it again and hashtag Clark collapse. Fans are split. Sneakerheads are digging up old lawsuits. And Nike's stock dropped 2.3% overnight, with early projections suggesting $500 million in potential PR and legal damage if this doesn't get contained. Caitlyn hasn't commented yet. But Nike? They're scrambling behind the scenes. Because this isn't just about one shoe. This is about how far a company will go to protect its legacy, and how far an athlete will go to protect her truth. And what happens next is about to turn everything on its head. It started with whispers in back offices. Whispers that quickly turned into boardroom screaming matches. And within 48 hours of Caitlyn Clark's shoe reveal, Nike was facing the kind of legal nightmare they hadn't seen since the Zion Williamson blowout scandal. Emails were flying, emergency calls were scheduled, and more than one Nike executive allegedly threatened to resign if the situation wasn't contained by end of week. Let's break down exactly how the chaos exploded. Once the boutique brand posted their viral accusation, claiming Nike had lifted their design through Caitlyn's shoe, the internet went into absolute overdrive. The original video hit 10 million views on Instagram and TikTok combined in under 12 hours. Influencers, fashion watchdog accounts, and even former Nike collaborators reposted it, fueling outrage with side-by-side comparisons of the logo. And y'all, the similarities were uncomfortable. The curves, the abstract flames, the placement near the heel tab. It was clear something wasn't right. What made it worse? Screenshots leaked, allegedly from a Slack conversation inside Nike's legal department, showing executives discussing the boutique brand's logo as far back as 2022. One message in particular stood out. "We can't move forward with the partnership, but let's shelf their design elements. Might be usable down the line." Boom. That one line detonated everything, because it made Caitlyn's shoe look less like a mistake and more like a calculated corporate heist. Suddenly, hashtag Justice for the Originals trended for 72 hours straight. Petitions hit 300,000 signatures. Celebrities began weighing in, from sneaker legends like PJ Tucker to even Meek Mill tweeting, "This why we don't trust these brands. And they use our culture, then leave us out the room." Even Serena Williams' husband, Alexis Ohanian, posted a cryptic tweet, "When you silence creators, you make enemies." But the biggest shock? Caitlyn Clark stayed silent. No tweets, no interviews, no Instagram story, nothing. And that silence, that strategic stillness, it only made the world hungrier for answers. Insiders now claim Caitlyn was actually locked in legal talks, trying to renegotiate parts of her Nike contract, specifically the clause that dealt with shared intellectual property. And here's where it gets really messy. Because according to one leaked document, which sports blogs like Sneaker Circle and Kickswatch claim came from inside Nike's internal dashboard, Caitlyn's legal team had previously submitted a request to independently verify all design elements of her shoe months before the launch. Why? Because Caitlyn reportedly had a gut feeling something wasn't right. One of her design assistants, a freelance graphic artist, had sent her a message back in January that allegedly read, "Hey, I know this flame idea is cool, but I think someone else already used it. I swear I've seen this somewhere." Caitlyn forwarded that message to Nike's team, and they replied with a legal clearance document stating the design was original and proprietary. So now Caitlyn's camp is claiming Nike lied. And that, if true, she could sue Nike herself for breach of contract. Let that sink in. Nike's own star athlete might sue them for dragging her name into a scandal she tried to prevent. But wait, it gets even wilder. Because here comes the first major twist. Right in the middle of this firestorm, another shoe company stepped in. A massive, unexpected player. Adidas, that's right. Caitlyn's arch-rival brand allegedly reached out to the boutique designer within 48 hours of the scandal going viral and made a multi-million-dollar acquisition offer. Insiders claim Adidas wants to buy the entire brand, not just to support the designer, but to absorb the legal leverage in a potential case against Nike. Why? Because if Adidas owns the rights to the original design, and Nike is found liable for copying it, they can sue Nike directly and blow the entire market wide open. This is corporate warfare. And Caitlyn? She's caught in the middle. One insider described it like this: "This isn't just about Caitlyn Clark anymore. This is Nike versus Adidas, and the battlefield is her shoe." And that, right there, is the tragedy. Because Caitlyn wanted to make something honest. A shoe that represented her values, her story, her voice. Instead, she's watching it become a pawn in a billion-dollar game of legal chicken. But here's what nobody saw coming. The boutique designer refused Adidas's offer. That's right. They turned down $12.5 million because, and this is a direct quote from their Instagram Live, "This was never about money. It was about respect." And Caitlyn? We don't blame her. We blame the system. Boom. That live hit over 3.2 million views in 36 hours. Comments poured in. Support skyrocketed. And fans began demanding that Nike let Caitlyn out of her contract. One viral thread read, "Caitlyn was used. She's not the villain here. She's a victim of corporate control." But while fans rallied behind her, Nike's stock continued to bleed. By day 5 post-launch, they'd lost over $517 million in valuation. And what was Nike's official response? A cold 4-sentence press release that said, "We are aware of the ongoing discussion around design similarities and take these concerns seriously. Nike values originality and the creative process. We are currently reviewing the matter internally. No further comment at this time. No apology. No accountability. No mention of Caitlyn." And that only added fuel to the fire, because now the public wasn't just questioning Nike's integrity. They were questioning its future. Is Nike really the innovator it claims to be? Or is it a relic of a time when power silenced creativity and athletes were told to stay in line? And more urgently, is Caitlyn Clark about to break free? Because if she walks, if she breaks her contract and partners directly with the boutique designer, it could spark a revolution in the athlete brand model forever. But she'll have to move fast, because Nike is reportedly preparing to file an emergency injunction to prevent her from speaking publicly, and to stop any potential brand crossover deals from happening in the next 90 days. The clock is ticking. And Caitlyn, she's about to make a decision that could change everything. Just when the dust seemed ready to settle, just when Nike's PR team thought they could smother the fire with silence, everything exploded again. And this time, Caitlyn Clark finally broke her silence. But it wasn't on ESPN. It wasn't through some tightly worded PR statement. Nope. It was a single, simple Instagram post, a black screen, white text. I trusted them. I shouldn't have. That was it. No tag, no caption, no location. Just those 6 devastating words. But the impact? Nuclear. The post gained 7.8 million likes in under 12 hours, making it the most liked athlete post of the year. Comments flooded in. Brands scrambled. Nike froze. And what followed next would leave even the most seasoned legal teams breathless. Because less than an hour later, as if on cue, the boutique brand dropped the ultimate bombshell. So a 9-minute TikTok expose titled, "We tried to stay silent, but they played us." It opened with grainy footage of a video call, time-stamped from 8 months before the shoe launch. A voice, unmistakably belonging to one of Nike's senior design directors, is heard saying, "Your flame motif is nice. A little aggressive for us, but definitely interesting. We'll circle back if anything changes." The boutique founder is seen nodding. "Thank you for your time." But then, the real shocker. The clip cuts to a screen recording of an email thread labeled "internal only," sent just 3 days after that call. In the email, the Nike designer forwards the boutique's pitch deck to another executive, writing, "Too raw for a partnership, but I like the heel overlay and the central flame burst. Could repurpose some of it." Repurpose. Repurpose. That one word sent the internet into a frenzy. Because this wasn't just inspiration. This was a smoking gun. By now, fans were livid, and hashtag Nike New began trending worldwide. But it didn't stop there. Because as the boutique's video gained momentum, hitting 30 million views in 24 hours, another piece of the puzzle surfaced. A leaked internal Nike training presentation from just weeks before Caitlyn's shoe reveal. Title: Modern Design Influence, Amplifying Cultural Vibes. Inside it? Side-by-side images comparing aspirational community concepts, one of which included a blurry version of the boutique's actual logo, only slightly tweaked. And at the bottom of the slide? Note: do not reference the original source externally. Oh my God. Nike's own slide deck had indirectly confirmed the theft. And the public was not having it. Meanwhile, Caitlyn's management was reportedly in panic mode. Multiple sources close to her camp confirmed she had no idea the original design came from a previously rejected pitch. She'd only seen Nike's version, which they had packaged to her as an homage to her fire and drive. Now, she realized she'd been used. Insiders claimed she refused to speak directly to Nike execs after the email leak. Instead, she communicated solely through lawyers. And then, yet again, just when it couldn't get worse, it did. A viral behind-the-scenes TikTok surfaced. Posted anonymously, it showed what looked like a Nike brand strategy meeting held via Zoom. One exec laughing says, "I mean, who's gonna care? It's some no-name flame logo from a D-list creative studio. Caitlyn's the face. Nobody's looking at the heel." Another responds with a smirk. "Exactly. Let her take the heat. She's paid enough." The video spread like wildfire. Reddit forums, sneaker blogs, even mainstream news outlets picked it up. CNN ran a headline. New footage suggests Nike willfully misled Caitlyn Clark. And Sports Illustrated's lead editorial read, "What started as a design dispute is now a scandal of manipulation, exploitation, and betrayal." Amid the growing outrage, Nike's legal team sprang into action, issuing DMCA takedowns across platforms and threatening lawsuits to anyone sharing confidential internal content. But the damage was already done. Every takedown just confirmed the footage was real. Meanwhile, Caitlyn made another move, one that shocked even her biggest fans. She removed all Nike references from her social bios. Her Twitter bio? Blank. Her Instagram? No more Nike partnership links. And that Nike shoe promo reel that used to be pinned? Gone. At the same time, a flurry of unconfirmed but heavily circulated rumors emerged. Caitlyn was reportedly negotiating a contract buyout with Nike. The boutique designer had retained powerhouse legal counsel in anticipation of litigation. Adidas and Puma had both begun courting Caitlyn for emergency replacement deals. But here's where the story takes its sharpest turn yet. Because while everyone was watching Caitlyn, another woman was quietly preparing to go public. An ex-Nike intern named Talia James, who claimed she had worked in the brand integration division that handled celebrity collaborations. She posted a now viral TikTok titled, "Why I Left Nike, The Truth Behind the Flames." In it, she claimed she was in the room when the Caitlyn Clark design was greenlit. She alleges she voiced concerns about the resemblance to the boutique logo and was told, "We've legally covered it. Don't think like a designer, think like a corporation." According to Talia, the team even joked about potential backlash, calling it a risk worth taking. Her video ended with a plea. To Caitlyn Clark, if you see this, I'm sorry. You deserved the truth. Talia's post amassed over 11 million views and was shared by Caitlyn's brother, who added, "You're brave for speaking up. Thank you." So now, we have an insider whistleblower, leaked footage, damning documents, and a star athlete cutting ties publicly. And yet, Nike has still not issued a formal apology or responded directly to the claims. Even as #BoycottNike climbed into the top 3 trends worldwide, and Caitlyn's fan base organized to cancel the contract rally in downtown Des Moines. But here's the final cliffhanger. On the 6th day of the scandal, Caitlyn was spotted leaving a private meeting with the boutique designer, captured by TMZ cameras. No logos, no entourage, just the two of them. Hugging. Sources claim Caitlyn wants to relaunch the shoe, not with Nike, but with the original creators. And if she does, that would mark the first time in history a major athlete publicly abandoned a billion-dollar brand mid-contract to partner with an independent studio. Game. Changing. But as of now, Nike has reportedly prepared a $40 million lawsuit to block any future shoe deals Caitlyn signs within the next 12 months. That legal war? It's just beginning. If you thought the leaked footage and Caitlyn Clark's dramatic unfollowing of Nike was the peak of the scandal, oh no, you haven't seen anything yet. Because the second the story hit the mainstream, the entire sports world cracked in half. Twitter became a battlefield. Instagram turned into a minefield. And the sneaker world? An absolute war zone. It started when ESPN's First Take opened with a rare emergency live segment. Stephen A. Smith didn't hold back. He leaned into the camera, eyebrows raised, and said, "I don't care how big Nike is, this looks bad. You stole from a young black designer? You misled Caitlyn Clark? The receipts are right there, folks. And don't insult our intelligence." The clip was reposted over 5 million times in under 8 hours. And fans weren't just watching, they were choosing sides. On one side, you had the ride-or-die Caitlyn fans, #Team Caitlyn, who declared that Nike had officially lost their moral credibility. On the other, corporate loyalists, branding professionals, and even a few influencers who tried to downplay the controversy. But things escalated when a surprising voice jumped into the fire. LeBron James. Yup. The king himself posted a single cryptic tweet. "Been there. Watch who's really in the room with you. #Design Matters. The internet went insane. Was LeBron confirming that Nike does this regularly? Was he hinting he had also been burned? Within 10 minutes, the tweet was on the front page of Reddit, trending globally. Even more shocking? He liked Caitlyn Clark's original "I trusted them" post on Instagram. And guess who noticed? Nike. Because just hours after that, a verified Nike PR rep issued a statement to CNBC saying, "While we respect all our athletes and collaborators, we do not comment on ongoing internal matters or speculative allegations." Translation? They're panicking. And while the silence from Nike's top brass spoke volumes, the sound from the rest of the sports world was deafening. Former WNBA legend Lisa Leslie took to Twitter and said, "I've worked with Nike. I've seen how these deals go. Caitlyn deserves better. Period." Meanwhile, Puma saw the opening and pounced. Their official account posted a TikTok using the "They Clone Tyrone" soundtrack with the caption, "When you treat your athletes and designers with respect from the jump." #NotSoSwooshy, over 8 million views in one night. Adidas wasn't far behind. They launched a targeted ad campaign titled "Real Flame, Real Voices," showcasing their newest women's basketball line with zero mention of Nike, but every visual screaming, "We stand with you, Caitlyn." But perhaps the most unexpected response came from Caitlyn's WNBA colleagues. Aja Wilson posted a black and white photo of Caitlyn with the caption, "You're more than a deal, you're a legacy." While Breanna Stewart posted an IG story of herself unboxing a pair of shoes, with the Nike logo blurred out. And the fans? They weren't just commenting, they were mobilizing. And over 50,000 tweets under the #FlameStolen within 48 hours. A fan-led Change.org petition titled "Nike Must Apologize to Caitlyn and the Designer" hit 600,000 signatures in under 3 days. Sneaker forums like Soul Collector and Kicks on Fire exploded with memes comparing Nike execs to cartoon villains, even labeling them corporate thieves. But it wasn't all support. Some influencers started questioning Caitlyn too. TikTok commentator at Lux Hoops claimed, "Let's not pretend Caitlyn didn't see that flame logo. These athletes know everything about their merch. She stayed silent for months." That take? Backfired. Caitlyn's fans bombarded the video, flooding it with comments like, "She trusted the brand. You blaming the victim now? So it's her fault she got lied to? Wild take." And then came the ultimate moment of irony. Nike announced their quarterly shareholder meeting was being moved online. Why? Security concerns due to external disruptions. In other words, they were scared their own investors might start calling them out live. Industry analysts weighed in hard. Forbes ran the headline, "Nike's $500 million flameout." When star power meets corporate ego, Bloomberg followed up with, "The Caitlyn Clark crisis, a warning to every endorsement deal in 2026. Even Mark Cuban threw shade on X. "Every billion-dollar brand thinks they're invincible. Then one tweet changes everything." But wait, there was still one final blow. Just as Nike attempted to settle the storm quietly with damage control interviews and sponsored think pieces, a new bombshell hit. A rival shoe executive anonymously leaked a memo dated 6 months before the launch. And the memo described Caitlyn's project as a strategic dominance play, with these chilling lines. "Originality is a luxury. Ownership is leverage. Control the image, control the market." The phrase "originality is a luxury" became an instant meme and a rallying cry. T-shirts were made, stickers printed, even NBA arenas started flashing signs. Own your flame. The court of public opinion? Overwhelmingly against Nike. And Caitlyn? She hasn't said another word since her "I trusted them" post. But she doesn't have to. Her silence now speaks louder than anything Nike could ever say. And fans know something even bigger is coming. just when it seemed like the storm was finally settling. Just when Nike thought the media cycle would spin forward and bury the scandal in the next wave of trending headlines, Caitlyn Clark made her move. But she didn't do it with a press conference. She didn't drop a dramatic Instagram story or go live with tears in her eyes. She didn't even speak. She simply vanished. No public appearances, no game day walk-ins, no brand shout-outs. Her social media? Silent. At first, fans thought she was just laying low. But something far more calculated was happening behind the scenes. Because according to a leaked email thread, obtained by a so-called insider connected to Caitlyn's camp, she wasn't retreating. She was plotting a takeover. That's right. Behind closed doors, Caitlyn Clark was already in final stage talks with a global billionaire investor known for disrupting legacy brands. A mysterious figure only referred to in the leak as Z. Some believe it's Jay-Z. Others say it's Mark Cuban. One wild theory? Rihanna herself is backing the project through a silent equity group she co-founded last year. What we do know, this isn't just a shoe line anymore. This is a full-scale sportswear revolution. Insiders claim the name of the brand is Ignite. And the slogan? Born from fire, owned by flame. Yeah, you read that right. A direct jab at Nike's alleged theft of her iconic flame logo. But wait, here's where things get really wild. An anonymous designer, who fans believe is the original creator Nike allegedly stole from, posted a single blurry image on Threads. It showed Caitlyn sitting at a table, across from someone who looked a lot like Tyler, the creator. The caption? Legends don't wear logos, they make their own. Within minutes, it was reposted over 3 million times, and the speculation machine kicked into overdrive. Was Tyler the creative director behind Ignite? Was this a super team forming behind the scenes? Was this the end of Nike's monopoly over women's basketball? Meanwhile, Nike tried to plug the leaks. They quietly pulled Caitlyn Clark Flame editions from their website. They started deleting old posts. They even updated their corporate website's mission statement, removing the words creative freedom. But it was already too late. Because the twist they didn't see coming? An ex-Nike employee, fired just a month prior, leaked a 37-slide presentation deck that blew the lid off everything. And slide 12? Oh man. Slide 12 showed the original Caitlyn Clark shoe design, side by side with a near-identical design submitted by an independent artist over a year earlier. Name blacked out, time-stamped, and labeled Inspiration Folder, Q1 Acquisition Targets. The internet exploded. Reddit threads demanded accountability. The designer community turned on Nike. Hard. Even artists from non-shoe industries chimed in. If they'll do this to Caitlyn, imagine what they've done to thousands of unknown creators who'll never have a platform to fight back. But the final gut punch came from Caitlyn herself. Late one night, she reappeared. No grand speech, no apology tour, just one image. Her in a sleek black tracksuit, no visible branding, just a flame-shaped pin on her chest, and a single caption. Next season, I won't just play the game, I'll own it. Boom. 7 million likes in under 24 hours. And then, without warning, a secret account leaked a 10-second teaser trailer. Black screen, heartbeat sound, and the whisper, Ignite, Summer 2026. Fade to black. The internet lost its mind. Sneakerheads, investors, players, and brands all locked in. The comments were flooded with questions like, is this real? She's about to destroy Nike. Caitlyn is going solo and I'm here for it. But just as the hype reached a boiling point, a shadow re-emerged from the past. A YouTuber named at Truth Gear, famous for deep dives into corporate scandals, uploaded a new expose titled, The Real Reason Nike Turned on Caitlyn. Leaked audio from a secret meeting. And what he revealed might flip the entire narrative again. In the audio, a man allegedly from Nike's executive team can be heard saying, "Let her think she's building her own thing. The moment it blows up, we buy it back. We always do. She's the product. She just doesn't know it yet. The comments section went nuclear. Some fans cried betrayal. Others said it was proof that corporate sabotage was still coming. And a handful warned, if they said that out loud once, what are they saying now? Because now, a new question hangs in the air. Is Caitlyn Clark really free? Or is she walking straight into a trap disguised as independence? Is Ignite a rebellion or a setup? We don't know yet. But one thing's clear, the war isn't over. It's just getting started. This is not the ending. It's the beginning of the end. For everything we thought we knew about sports, power, and who really runs the game. Because Caitlyn Clark, she didn't just drop a shoe. She dropped a statement that shattered corporate silence, rattled boardrooms, and sent shockwaves through an industry built on control. But now the spotlight turns to you. Do you believe Caitlyn's new brand, Ignite, is a true rebellion? Or is there a trap waiting behind the curtain? Was Nike always planning to betray her? And more importantly, do you think Caitlyn Clark just became bigger than the WNBA itself? Let us know in the comments below. Because the real power, it's not just in billion-dollar deals, it's in voices, yours included. If you stand with Caitlyn and independent creators, smash that like button right now. If you think Nike needs to answer for what's in that slide deck, share this video with everyone you know. And if you're ready for the next chapter, hit that subscribe and turn on all notifications. Because trust me, the next leak is already in motion. Whispers say another company, one even bigger than Nike, wants to crush Ignite before it even launches. And if the rumors are true, we're talking sabotage, NDAs, and celebrities being dragged in to play both sides. This isn't just about sneakers anymore. It's about legacy, loyalty, and liberation. And if you've made it this far, then you already know. You're not just watching a drama, you're witnessing a revolution. So keep your eyes open, keep your inbox ready. And above all, stay loud, stay curious, stay dangerous, because the battle for sports just entered its most chaotic phase yet. And Caitlyn Clark is leading the charge. We'll see you in the next one. It's going to be even wilder.